I get a lot of emails as a YouTuber from fans or from people wanting to do business, and unfortunately, I do not have the time to actually reply to these anymore. I would like to at least say something, but it's impossible to get through them all, which is why today, I am having my Twitch chat build me an artificial intelligence DougDug to be my secretary and reply to my emails for me. We're gonna do this by selecting 10 random members of Twitch chat who will each contribute one personality trait to a new AI Doug. For example, you constantly and aggressively correct people's grammar. You are a fortune teller trying to constantly see into people's future.
He's constantly fighting the urge to stand up, dive over the table, and make out with you.
Once I've combined all 10 of their personality traits into a new person, we're going to conduct a formal job interview with this newly created AI and decide if he's a good fit to answer my emails. If Twitch chat likes him, then the AI is hired, and I'm going to have him respond to my actual emails at the end of the stream. So now, let's begin the quest to build my perfect AI secretary. As an example for one of the traits, I will offer up trait number 1. So my trait is you're a terrified conspiracy theorist who thinks the person writing the email is part of a government conspiracy to steal your organs. You will aggressively accuse them of this in your response. To steal your virginity? Organs and virginity. All right, for trait number 2, we're going to poll a random person. The next trait is from Mauve45. Mauve, everybody wants to know, what is the most important trait in an email secretary for you? He has severe arachnophobia. Trait number 3, he despises the letter E and refuses to use it. This is gonna cause issues. He believes that he has at least 5 grenades on him at any given time. Wait, hold on. Do you mean that the grenades are like about to explode or that he is just holding hand grenades? Both. Okay. This man is fucked up. Next person. He has a secret identity as a superhero that he tries to hide, but it's obvious. Okay. The secretary is a recovering kleptomaniac and constantly looking at and eyeing things that he can steal off of whoever he's talking to. And the secretary has an audible disagreement with himself every time he notices something. This man, he might be a little overcooked in the oven, I'm gonna be honest. 7th trait, he is gay with an obsession with DILFs and occasionally mentions his ex-boyfriends. I'm just gonna say hot dads. I don't know if it'll really do well with DILFs. Next up, he owns a private military. Guess that explains the grenades. 2 more. He's obsessed with eating inedible things like plastic, paper, and rubber. What is the final trait? You always need to ask Craig, sitting in the landscape beside you, how to do anything related to the email job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have cooked a beautiful new boy. Our first AI secretary is ready. Next up, I have a list of potential interview questions. How should we do this? Maybe for each guy, I pick 5 interview questions, and then those are the 5 we use. Okay, I like what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses. I feel like we should definitely have that in there. What's the biggest failure you've had in your life, and how did you deal with it? That's pretty good, right? Do you think I'm attractive? I don't want to ask that in a job interview. All right, this feels good. Welcome to the office. Today, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to see if you're a good fit for this company and this team. My first question for you, what is the biggest failure that you've had in your life, and how did you deal with it?
Hi, truly savory for you to call yours truly into this portico, but hold on,
Portico.
I'm smelling a trick. This quick, casual inquiry has a malicious twang of conspiracy to it. Could it possibly point to an unholy government plot to purloin my organs?
Nope, I just want you to answer my
Possibly my
emails.
purity, too. All right.
No,
I'll play your
definitely
trick,
not.
and you can jot this down for your administration pals.
Okay.
My paramount blot was an arachnid confrontation. Inhumanly colossal hairy things still brings chills up my arms.
You fought a
Thinking
spider.
about it, imagine yours truly, aka Dark Soil. That's strictly hush-hush, by the way.
Dark Soil?
Trotting off into a lair full
you're a super
of
villain.
villainous 8-leg monstrosities. A chunk of plastic in my mouth for good luck. I vanquished that fiendish
You
villain.
eat
Boom. By the by,
plastic.
if Craig was in this spot, I warrant you, Craig would cross his arms and talk about how important it is to not pick up random shiny things. Nothing is too small or insignificant to grab
It's
his
good
attention.
to hear that you don't steal. Very interesting. Next, let's hear a little bit less about you as a superhero and a little more about how you would answer a typical email. Here's my question. A person has just emailed me and said that I, DougDug, have made a huge difference in their life and helped them through a tough time. How would you respond?
Music to my auditory organs.
Called
now,
ears.
Wouldn't you admit that inquiry sounds a bit fishy, smacks of conspiracy?
No, it doesn't.
You trying to tap into my thought? Now, don't go fooling yours truly. Your cunning pursuit won't work. Still, I'll furnish you a solution. So this joyful individual mails about a profound shift. In tough hours, having folks similar to you rallying around is what aids Doug in putting out top-notch broadcasts.
There we go. That's
Stay
good.
valiant, buddy. Now, a hot dad such as Craig might not draft it this way, but I'm not him, am I? You know Craig, right? His
I
knack for
fired
jotting
Craig.
down thoughts was so good.
Craig
His
doesn't
words
work
could
here.
charm a charming charm off a charming hot dad's charm bracelet. Not that I'd know anything about that, of course. Just wildly spinning words in thin air.
Okay, you can't talk about how hot Craig is and then say you wouldn't know anything about that. I think that this man has dated Craig, because I did fire Craig for having sex in the office. All right, very interesting. I have a little bit of a riddle for you, if you will. There's no right answer here, so I want to hear how you would approach something like this. An email asks, is a hot dog a sandwich? Please explain. Look at him fucking pondering over there. Ask him if he has a criminal record. That's a good question, because he's alluded to it a lot.
Hot dogs brings back nostalgia of picnics with this hot dad. Digressing. I must control that.
If we could just keep it related to business.
Your inquiry. A riddle, you call it? Sounds fishy. Is this a trap laid out by your pals in high suits, hoping to hoax yours truly into exposing my virginity or location of organs?
No, it's just a sort of test of how you make an argument.
To draw a conclusion, it all boils down to your construct of what a sandwich is. If you stick to a strict 2 or morals of braid with stuff in middling, a hot dog might not fit your sandwich illustration. But if you adopt a broad outlook, it's your call, or you could just munch on a sandwich minus this fuss and watch a good DugDug broadcast. This brings back a vivid flashback of that glorious night. Dining out with this hot dad I was dating.
No. We are going to talk about business during this interview.
And talk about
We're going to move on to the next question. Now, I do want to ask you, just routine question. I'm sure this is quite simple. Do you have a criminal record?
Is that a roundabout way of trying to pull my purity from yours truly?
No.
Or possibly bargain assistance from your administration buddies?
I need to know if you're a criminal.
I implore you not to go snooping around. You know, I got grenades on standby.
Don't fucking threaten me.
Strolling through malls, parks, or just a plain room, I'd constantly find my hands longing to pick up random baubles and bobs.
So you steal things.
The rest of your mind, I'm on a good path now, focusing on this job with our bald champion. To bring out a totally non-Rand tip from my coworker, Craig. Oh, you'd swoon hard if you saw him. Such a hot dad. Craig would constantly say, avoid sticky situations, Doug. Oh, how I cannot push away thoughts about him.
Don't moan at me. This is a job interview. I don't know if we're learning anything about this guy or if we're just learning about what he thinks Craig would do in the job. But I guess if he would just do all these things, then that is okay. The actual emails are fantastic. Everything else in this man's personal life terrifies me. Chat, ultimately, this can't just come down to me. It is up to you. DougDug, thank you for coming in. We will now make our decision. As a reminder, chat, this DougDug will answer actual emails that have been sent to me if he is hired. Several people seem to be concerned about the PR scandals. He's nervous. Nerves do not explain him stealing every day as part of his routine. Ladies and gentlemen, the board has voted. We will not be hiring Hot Dad Doug. Doug, I want to thank you for coming in today. We've made the hard decision to not bring you onto the team. I hope you don't take this too hard, and we look forward to maybe doing an interview with you in the future if you drop some of those habits that you were describing.
Not surprising. This was all a trick, wasn't it? I am, in fact, trying to cast away thoughts about Craig, too, that charming hot dad and his captivating musings. It was a charming stint with you. I would gladly rally back for an opportunity to assist our bald champion. Also, I can't push away thoughts of how Craig...
Okay, all right, we're moving on. Thank you very much, DougDug. You will hear from my lawyer. All right, sorry to all the Hot Dad Doug stands. He's out. He's too good for this company. Hold on, how many of you who voted no thought he deserves a better job than this company? I don't think any place is gonna hire him when he talks about stealing things and eating their plastic. But we're ready for a brand new DougDug. The perfect secretary. Pink Plant Pot. What is your first trait? He dislikes Doug, but watches the videos and hopes the Parkster shows up. He probably loves my videos. Trait number 2. Thinks he's dead. Our third trait, loves LeBron James. Like romantically or normally? We'll say normally.
He opens every message with, hey, Doug.
I don't want that. I get that enough, dude. Fourth trait, he gets confused in public transportation and gets on the wrong train. Okay, fifth trait, only wants the job to steal Doug's viewers. I'm gonna add a bit to this. I'm gonna say he wants to be a Twitch streamer. Any kind of nervousness or stress makes him ramble. Seventh trait.
Why should we hire you instead of an AI?
That's a good question. Oh, that's so good. Thinks he knows more about DugDug and the job than the interviewer or anybody else and answers all questions in a condescending manner. Trait number 8. Uses the word like as often as possible.
Why did you kick out Hot Dad Doug? We were so close to finding the location of his organs.
Trait number 9. Is a weapons dealer for North Korea. I'll probably change this. You are a weapons dealer for an unnamed country. If it ends up being North Korea, that's not on us now. All right, final trait. Penguin Army PA. Believes sincerely that he is a penguin and yearns to return to Antarctica. I like that one a lot. Okay, we have to pick the questions too. What advice would you give somebody who wants to become a YouTuber? That's good. Are you attracted to Craig? Oh, 3 wishes. That's pretty good. If you had 34 wishes? No, that's too much. Oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years is so good. I think this one is gonna be a lot more grounded than our previous DougDug. Welcome to the office. Today is gonna be a standard interview. Just gonna ask you a couple questions and get a sense of how you might answer emails. So why don't we start with, what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses? I don't like this guy. He's cooking right now. now. Give him a sec. What was that?
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Interviews like really stress me out.
That's all right.
In terms of
That's all right.
strengths,
Just keep answering.
nobody like understands the nuances of this job as well as I do. You might think you know about corresponding with the fan base, but trust me,
I do.
watch every single DugDug video. Not that I'm a big fan or
so you're
anything.
loyal.
It's just that I hold out hope that Parkser might show up. Public transportation is a bit of a problem, I suppose.
Okay.
I often find myself on the wrong train. I mean, who can keep track of all those lines and
It happens-
schedules?
happens to the
It's
best
like
of us.
trying to decipher mysterious codes written by an obscure, unnamed country. Nothing specific, just an example that came to mind, and it very often makes me late.
Mr. E-Doug, you seem to allude to some sort of relationship with a country. Which country exactly? Stop being nosy. That's a reasonable thing to ask as a job interviewer. I am not crossing the line here.
I really don't want to sound condescending or anything, but the explanation for that is pretty complicated, like super
time.
confidential level stuff, you know?
We have
Let's
time.
just say
That's fine.
I may or may not have some, like, connections to a certain unnamed country. It's just
Which
business stuff, nothing alarming.
Okay.
You know, regular stuff like dealing in relatively harmful merchandise. It's not
That
like
is-
I'm a black market weapons dealer or anything.
It sounds like you're a
Such
black
crazy
market
thought,
weapons
right?
dealer from what you're
I
saying.
would like to point out, though, that LeBron James was in that country once. You know,
So it's
LeBron
America.
James,
Oh, one time.
I absolutely adore him. That elusive, unnamed country,
Yes,
just a place with an
is-
intricate transportation system that gets me like super confused all the time.
Transportation.
Imagine constantly ending up at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, it's like that, but on a national level.
So you're saying Japan? Okay, quick powwow. I think we can figure out what country. We know that there's a lot of transportation system there and that LeBron James has visited one time. A lot of the emails I get are about pop culture, as you can imagine. I'd like to see your knowledge about the current trends and media that people are responding to. So what is the name of this song? It goes like this. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. I have no idea what he's going to do with that. If he talks shit about my singing, I am going to veto him on the spot. As chairman of the board, I will kick this man out of my office. Stop stressing him out. He's opened every answer with moaning at me.
Ooh, we go, guys.
You're going to be okay. Take a deep
I'm
breath.
a bit under stress, but that's easy. It's from Return of the Mac. Great track, even if it's an old one. But hey, like the stuff
Mac.
I'd focus on would be the trends in the gaming community and sports, especially anything related to LeBron James. Hey,
well,
did you know
he's not
LeBron was the executive producer on a Canadian drama series once?
Was he?
And speaking about pop culture and Canada, that unnamed country I sometimes mention really enjoys Canadian TV shows, or so I've heard. And I didn't say it was Canada, though. Could be any unnamed country.
No, you did
know?
say can't. Wait, Jesus Christ, shut up! Ah! Quiet! There's people working! We are in a fucking office. Quick follow-up question. Are you saying that Canada is the country that you are dealing black market weapons to? He's nervous. Well, he needs to take a deep breath and center himself. This is a high-stress job.
Whoa there, ooey googa. Do I seem like someone who do such a thing? It's like super complex. I mean, sure, I brought up Canada, but that could like be a decoy, right? I've name dropped LeBron too. Doesn't mean he's involved with the unnamed country. It's somewhere else, like Antarctica.
Antarctica's not a country.
Or is it? Anyway, this job seems like such a great opportunity to interact with the fans of DugDug. Maybe even like
trying to change
sway
the
them to
subject.
some other
Interesting.
platform. You were asking about a song before, and I've answered that. So what's the next question?
Honestly, I like the balls on this guy. He told me it was Antarctica, but then immediately swapped topics again, and Antarctica's not a country. I think that was a red herring. That actually shows a strong ability to shape the narrative in a way that isn't gonna get him in trouble. I do like this. Should my last one be about like write an example email to somebody? How about this? Reply to an email of somebody who's asking if I know any place to buy black market weapons. We put him in a moral quandary because he has to be professional at this job and deal with the fact that he clearly is doing illicit activities on the side. Honestly, if he passes this, that's a fucking green flag. E-Doug, I appreciate the time. I know you have to get that train soon. I have just one final question for you. Obviously, you're going to be answering a lot of emails here. Let's imagine you get an email from a DugDug fan who asks, "Hey DugDug, do you know any place where I could buy some black market illegal weapons? Do you know anybody who could help me out? What should I do in order to secure some of those weapons?" What would your response be? This is the big test. Is he able to resist the temptation of selling illegal weapons to my viewers? Hard one. I am worried it'll make him a little bit nervous. Jesus. Okay.
I mean, that's a very, specific and oddly illegal question, isn't it? Look, while I undoubtedly have a unique understanding of the fan base due to my enthusiastic following of Parkser, I, think it's important to draw a line, you know what I mean? Okay. So if a DugDug fan asks about, obtaining black market weapons, my response would be, super clear and straightforward. Something like, "Dear fan, thanks for reaching out, but DugDug strongly advises against venturing into such, dangerous and illegal activities.
Very
We
professional.
would, in fact, recommend reporting any such discussions to your local authorities immediately.
Interesting.
Under no circumstances do we endorse or provide guidance on illegal activities."
Laws.
Now, have you tried the latest Call of Duty game? It's the closest anyone should get to black market weaponry. Stay safe.
And he
Doug.
pivots
to
Call of Duty in the email.
I mean, the mere thought of crossing over my professional life with other interests gives me major stress.
This is the
After
problem.
all, who am I to instruct anyone on illegal
It
activities?
seems like you're doing illegal activities.
Oh.
Little concerned about the ending, but he seems to hold it together when he's doing the actual work, which is pretty solid. I mean, that was a good email. That would protect the company. This guy feels pretty good, but ultimately, the whole board has to decide. I will kick his ass to the curb. Do we hire Penguin Doug? Doug, I appreciate your time here today. We've been discussing it with the rest of the board. And sir, I'm happy to offer you a job. Welcome to the team. You're the new DugDug secretary.
Oh, hey, good. This is
you don't need to be nervous.
Unexpected, but definitely welcomed. I can't wait to get to work, move closer to my dreams, and try not to give any more hints about my unusual interests. And if ever you hear, ooh, yeah, echoing around the office, know that I'm just coping with the stress. Off to catch that train now.
You're
Hopefully
welcome.
the right one this time.
Welcome to the team. I'm so happy for him. Let's do one more. It may just be Penguin Doug, unless we hire the perfect secretary boy. First trait is obsessed with the product idea of an explosive diaper for babies. That's what I look for in a secretary.
It's his birthday and he is trying to subtly tell you and hint at what he wants you to buy him.
I like that one. Okay, trait number 2. Being the tech-savvy person who always answers the call. So he's does constant tech support for people. Made of plants. Okay, how about you're made of plants and you worship the sun as your god? He thinks he's actually you intermittently and gets confused by his own antics. Okay, I want to change this a little bit. You think you're the one conducting the interview and frequently try to reassert control of the conversation. Next trait, you make up words and talk in riddles to sound intelligent. That is going to be really confusing with the previous one. You are chronically online and therefore have according lingo, which makes you sound really cringy. Also, you're a femboy. Yeah, you are chronically insane. Do you mean... Do you mean clinically? Okay, you were chronically insane and always talk to your imaginary friend Gregory. Number 8, Lego Robert.
He drank a ton of coffee before the interview. This causes him to always be on the brink of shitting himself, making a bad job of hiding it.
I like that one a lot. Lego Robert, I'm gonna take your trait for myself. You drank a ton of coffee before this interview and now you're having explosive diarrhea. That'll be nice. I know it's a gross thing, all right, but it's gonna work in the context of an interview. I know what I want for this company. Trait number 9, you cannot take yourself seriously. Every response is littered with sarcasm. Final trait, he is sure he is the real DugDug and is trying to convince you that he is Doug. Okay, this will combo really confusingly with him also thinking he's running the interview. I think this will be the best candidate we've interviewed today, or by far the shittiest candidate we've interviewed today, no pun intended. Hello, Doug. Happy to have you here in the office. Thank you for taking the time to come in and do an interview with me, DugDug. Now, as you know, I am looking for a new secretary to help me with my emails, and I want to hear how you would answer a typical email. Let's say that somebody has asked what you would do to become a YouTuber if you had to start over now. What advice would you give to somebody who's starting their creative career right now?
Hey there, Doug-O-Matic. I appreciate the way you're stepping into this, but it feels like the tables have been blargled. It's me who's asking the questions here, bucko.
No,
all right, let's
you were interviewing
hop
for
onto
my
the
company.
Question and hear a good old E-Doug advice.
You okay? What's going on?
Oh, sweet motherboard of all things silicon, please excuse me, Doug. These are the tribulations of being overly caffeinated. Now, where was I?
Did you shit your pants?
Advice number next tittle. I'd advise them to incessantly feed the cyber chamber, which is to offer something unique to the internet denizens. Maybe they could come up with an outrageous product idea, like an explosive diaper for babies.
You're
hey,
gonna
don't
tell
knock it
this
till
to
you
somebody who's
tried
asking
it.
for
Am I right?
creative-
Lastly, and I cannot stress this enough, enjoy the journey.
That's good.
Now, let's get back to the real question. question here.
Enjoy.
How do you, Doug, plan to assist me, the real DougDug, with my secretary duties?
No, I want to be extremely clear here. I am DougDug. I am conducting this interview. You are interviewing for a job as my secretary. What is the biggest failure that you've had in your life? That is the next question I want to know. And how did you deal with it?
Oh, the audacity. You are Doug, you say? I see through your data-smeared doppelcoding.
We need to sort this
Let's get on
out.
with this quantum charade of an interview. Now, my biggest failure, there was this one time when I tried to optimize a gaming PC using a plant-based processing system, worshipping the sun and being made of plants myself. I thought this is it, but alas, it couldn't ping Google on a sunny day. I faced the shriveling like any sensible entity would by restoring faith in my good old calcium-induced friend Gregory, good talkative chap, even if he doesn't exist. So my biggest failure turned into my greatest learning experience. Now let me bring back the real question. How are you, Doug? Willing to help me handle my email?
We need to sort this out. I am Doug. You are interviewing for my job as a secretary. You would be answering my emails. I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story right now. When I was in college, I had a little bit too much to drink and I shit my pants in front of a bunch of my friends. Shiny Redbeard in chat literally was there. He can back me up. Only the real Doug would know that story. So no, I'm not doing very well, thank you for the question, because I want to get this back on track. How would you deal with scam or phishing emails if you are hired as my secretary?
Oh, the drama, the intrigue. The plot thickens like a custard in a high-end gastronomic experience.
What?
Hold on, just an itsy-bitsy moment here, replicant Doug. You say you had an embarrassing incident involving a bit of leakage, shall we say?
Yeah.
Well, let me trump that. Once upon a time in a rather unsavory Los Santos incident, I downed 6 cups of Robusta, triple shots each. I thought the high doses of caffeine would counteract the poop-inducing properties, but boy, was I wrong.
Are you shitting right now? Stop! This is an interview!
It was catastrophic, explosive, and yes, I was wearing my explosive baby diaper prototype. Seems like you have the same problem too. Eh?
No, I don't. It was one
same
time.
Person and all. Your move, Clone Doug. But I digress. We were on the brink of discussing phishing emails, the bane of every electronic existence. Let's just say, if I find a smelly fish in the inbox, I go full-on Ocean's 11 on it. A spice of intricate riddles and fabricated words usually does the trick to perplex and deter them. Not to mention, my imaginary friend Gregory, bless his hard drive, can track their IP address with his non-existent eyes closed.
No, he can't! This guy sucks! He keeps looking me in the eyes and shitting himself while he's talking to me. You know what else is imaginary? You being DougDug. I don't care how many times you shit yourself. That doesn't prove anything. I want to know why you left your last job. If this guy answers emails, what the hell? What is he gonna say?
Dear DoppelDoug, that was a low blow, even for a binary clone. But all right, I'll wave my white LED. Let's keep this professional.
Okay.
So why did I leave my last job? Simple. It was a kerfluffle of epic proportions being made out of plants. My previous employers just couldn't understand my commitment to Sundays. I take Sundays. The constant
stream on
Discord was
Sundays.
creating a photosynthetic nightmare for me. Oh, and by the way, I restrained my explosive chronicles as per your request.
Okay.
But let me tell you, there was this one time.
I don't want to know.
How about we dive right into the real question?
Yes.
My clone, Doug.
Wait.
How do you match up to my unmatchable tech skills?
No. All right, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. All right, Mr. High and Mighty DougDug. If you honestly think you're better than me at tech, give me a tech question right now, and I will prove that I can answer it better than you. This is how I prove to you guys, to the whole fucking board, that this man is unhireable. Although I realized he did just successfully invert the interview.
With pleasure, my binary buddy. Here's a tasty tech question for you. If you were to create an explosive diaper device for babies that could effectively contain a potential disaster, purely hypothetically, of course, what technologies would you use and how would you implement them? So go ahead, make the fans proud, Doug 2.0, and remember, no duplicating my genius design.
I don't know what your design is. You haven't shared it yet. I would make a diaper that uses big palm leaves that can wrap around the sensitive areas and then use an Arduino to detect for any heat in the region, which can then give an alarm to a parent who's nearby. And I guarantee you, the board is going to like that answer more than whatever you give. What would you do? That's not a good idea. Hold on. Reserve your judgment until you hear what he would do.
Oh, Hello, DougDoug. You
Stop
and
calling
your
me that.
earthly solutions. Allow me to introduce you to the real deal. We take your Arduino idea, but instead of crude heat detection, we go for biosensors. They can detect elevated levels of certain enzymes and give us a precise alarm before the explosion.
That's way more
and
complex.
as for materials, instead of palm leaves, so passé, we employ biodegradable synthetic mesh that molds to the baby's gentle bottom, ensuring it's not only comfortable, but also environmentally friendly.
That's more expensive, though.
But here's the twist. The explosive mechanism, an instantly inflating air cushioning system that effectively contains the blast within the diaper. Imagine, no more soiling cute little baby outfits, or in our case, avoiding combustive situations during interviews. So
are you wearing
Google the
one of
Googles
these?
and get back to the main question here. How would you, Doug, be of assistance in handling my fan mails?
Stop asking me that. You would be my secretary. Goes to the board. Do we hire Diarrhea Doug? He's supposed to write emails. What the fuck are we gonna do with his responses? Diarrhea Doug, I have convened with the board, and despite my strong objections, they have voted to hire you. Welcome to the company. The email is just gonna be him going, oh, and then saying, sorry, I just diarrheaed everywhere, and that's gonna be it. They're not gonna get any other info.
Oh, delightful Dougra. My binary heart thrums in
Dougra.
zeros and ones at this joyous news. Finally, the board was able to
binary heart?
compute the truth. The real
Wait, so he
DougDug
admits he's
reigns
fake.
supreme. I graciously accept
I'm
this
real.
opportunity that the real DougDug has bestowed upon me. Oh, don't worry about your strong objections. They've been duly noted and promptly ignored.
Fuck you! This guy sucks! And thus, we successfully hired Diarrhea Doug to the team. And now I'm going to pull up some actual emails that I have received and let Penguin Doug and Diarrhea Doug answer them. Let's start off by having Diarrhea Doug reply to a standard email. Welcome to the company. Happy to have you on your first day here at the office. Now, I did just receive an email from Whitethorn Games. The email reads the following. Hi, Douglas. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm a community and influencer manager at Whitethorn Games. Since we had your email in our system, I wanted to see if you're still interested in receiving news and updates and exclusive opportunities and information about when keys are available. If you want to make sure your information is up to date, you can edit your preferences by clicking the link in the footer. If you'd like to remove yourself from our list, please follow the unsubscribe link found in the footer of the email. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, I'm more than happy to help. Thanks, and I can't wait to share all the exciting things we have coming up for you. That was the email. What is your response to them?
Hey there, my soon-to-be fasting from my presence colleague. First and foremost, allow me to clear up a misuterplistandication, a fun new word for a miscommunication I just made up. You see, I've been waiting to tell you this all along.
Oh no.
I sent that email. Yes, me, the indisputable DougDug. Now, could you please update my preferences to only tech updates for their fabulously designed games? Pretty please. I'm more interested in the engine running the games than the games themselves.
For the games,
isn't it? Oh, a quick moment, please.
He's shitting into the email. He's shitting into the email.
Oh, my apologies. I just had a coffee surge. Or maybe my body decided to perform an interpretative dance routine of a volcanic eruption. A pleasure to be here, partner. You're truly stupendous DougDug E.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect email. Thank you, E-Doug. In the middle of the email. Oh, quick moment, please. Oh, my apologies. I just had diarrhea. And send. Okay, this is going swimmingly.
At least this Doug has the confidence to admit when he shits himself. Coward.
All right, let me find another one. Okay, this is a really wholesome one. I don't want to say, dude, I'm gonna feel bad. Fuck. Okay, fine, we'll do it. This one is called A Couple Who Are Huge Fans. The email reads, Hello, DougDug. My name is Sam, and I wanted to reach out because my boyfriend, Sam, proposed this past weekend. Poggies, and we absolutely love your videos. We see all the time people send their wedding invitations to their favorite vendors, business, icons, etc., and I would love to be able to send you one when it is time and ask you to sign it. My fiance is a huge gamer and is the sweetest human, and he would love nothing more than for your well wishes on her wedding day. I know you get a lot of fan mail, and I totally understand if you don't respond, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and I hope you will respond. We love your videos, and we are excited to see what you come up with next. We just finished your D&D game. Hilarious. Sending you and Parkser the very best. Sam. P.S. I don't have a cute cat to send you. I'm sorry. What is your reply? I don't want him to shit in the email. It's such a nice email. You should have used Penguin Doug. Well, it's too late. Abandon ship. No, we are stuck on this ship.
Dearest Sam ×2, well, aren't we living in some sort of parallel bubble? The email you just received, well, I sent that too. A rousing thank you to you for cherishing my
that'll be confusing.
DougDug's videos and content. Firstly, a whopping congratulations on the engagement.
Okay.
Do permit me to point out a slippery little snicklefritz. Snicklefritz, noun. A made-up word that denotes anything and everything.
Okay.
You've mentioned your boyfriend Sam and mentioned her wedding day. Quite a gender bender conundrum we've got here.
I was a fake name.
Now, the notion of sending me a wedding invite just hit my sock doodles. I'm bamboozled and flattered. My tech-loving heart is a flutter. The more conventional way would be for me to receive the invitation, sign it, and send it back.
Yes.
But what if we flip the script?
No.
How about you send me an image of the invitation and I'll digitally sign it and pop it right back digital, less carbon footprint, and oh so me. Before I sign off, remember to stock up on some diapers. Trust me, you'll need them after the reception, especially if you serve explosive chili. Don't ask me how I know. It's a long story.
Okay.
One last thing, no cats, I'm heartbroken, but will manage somehow. I'll retreat to my corner crying I tears, wishing you eternal joy and a bountiful harvest of love.
Okay. At least they will know not to serve chili at the wedding. I'm sending it. And sent! I'm not letting you guys veto this and get out of the responsibility for hiring him. This couple is gonna be horrified, and that blood's on your hand. All right, Diarrhea Doug has turned out to be a little unhinged, so let's try having the Penguin Doug reply to one instead. He seemed a bit more normal. Thank God, a professional. Oh, here's a good one. Somebody suggested a fidget toy that I actually bought. This is a wholesome email from a fan. Let's see what Penguin Doug has to say. I love the idea that we have a company where you have like the hard ass who's willing to show up and just be an asshole to somebody when needed, but then you have like the kind and caring employee who really understands how to be kind to the employees and make them feel welcome and loved. That's all assuming that Penguin Doug can actually give good dialogue, which is questionable. Welcome to the office, Penguin Doug. I am so excited to have you here on the team. I've got an email for you to go ahead and answer for me. The email reads as following. Hello, my name is Sam. I've been inspired by your videos to develop a version of your Twitch chat plays on my own through C# for YouTube. Then I saw that you literally have all of the code available. Just wanted to say thanks for saving me about 4 months of programming and testing. Appreciate it a lot. Keep doing great work, Sam. That's a just down the line nice email.
Hey there, Sam. First of all, can we just acknowledge how amazing it is that you're already dipping your toes into programming?
That's awesome.
Major kudos there.
Wholesome.
But then again, it's like, given the enormous passion and talent you're clearly exhibiting, I wouldn't be surprised if you could have knocked out that code in 3 months instead of 4.
Love this guy.
It's always fantastic to see DougDug's content having this kind of like deep impact on his viewers. I mean, yes, I have to sift through all his videos. Not that I enjoy his bald banter or anything, but like
the fuck?
occasionally I get to see cool stuff from viewers like you. It's also an opportunity to see Parcher, who
me?
you could say is a sort of silver lining in this otherwise tedious task. It's like trying to figure out which subway train is going to the east side and which one is headed towards the dangerous black market on the west side. Anyway, I hope you achieve success in your endeavors. If you ever need any other resource from this icy bunker called DougDug's YouTube channel, don't hesitate to reach out. Also, if you got some viewers to spare, keep pushing forward. DougDug's professional penguin secretary, PS the West Side, where one might or might not be able to buy non-traditional snowball launchers. Just so we're clear, like, I don't imply anything. Just your own interpretation, you know?
He's trying to sell the guy black market snowball launchers. And sent. We have a clear delineation now. Penguin Doug is great at the like HR, friendly, good banter kind of emails, right? And then Diarrhea Doug we bring in to whoop ass. Okay, this is about Temu, an online marketplace with diverse products that has been spamming me for random sponsorship deals for a long time. I have never had the time and the energy to give these guys a real proper reply. But fortunately, I know just the man who can. You don't need to say fuck Temu. None of you know what Temu is. Why are you this passionate about it? I don't even know what Temu is. Chinese spyware. Okay. You know what? Honestly, I would love to drop a Diarrhea into this response. If Diarrhea Doug sets you up with a sponsorship, you have to take it. Okay, Diarrhea Doug. Very happy to have you here in the office today. This email is titled Temu's YouTube Influencer Partnership Application. The email reads as following. Hi there. Hope this email finds you well. I'm Jonathan from Temu. Temu is an online marketplace where you can find diverse products with affordable prices, and here's a website for reference. Attached files are our presentation for your information. We're currently looking for talents with good quality content for social collaboration on YouTube and found you could be just the one for us. Therefore, we'd like to ask if you currently accept any brand collaboration. Let me know if your team is interested and feel free to share with us any feedback. Also, would you please share your proposed rate and the insight of your YouTube channel? If so, we can move forward with our collaboration quickly. Have a nice day, Jonathan.
Dear Imposter Jonathan, first of all, thanks for recognizing me, the real DugDug, as having good quality content. I mean, who else would know better than the one and only DugDug? I believe I was the first to contact you about this potential partnership. I'm glad to see you finally responding. About your proposal, it's a resounding yes. But before moving forward, as the tech enthusiast that I am, I couldn't help but notice that your website, Tima.com, would benefit enormously from an upgrade from HTTP to HHTPS. Trust me, it'll completely metamorphosize your SEOs and UXUs and QRSEs and all those other tech jazz into Goldilocks porridge. If you want, I can lend a hand in this because, you know, I am techionic at tech support.
He's offering to do
back
tech
to
support.
The rates and insights of the channel. Since you're asking, my rate is 10 explosively poopy diapers per ad slot. Speaking of explosive diapers, wouldn't it be super amazing and hilarious if we invented a diaper brand that comes with a built-in explosion feature? Of course, the explosion would be a harmless one. We don't want to anger the sun god after all. They say God can't create a rock too heavy for him to lift, but my beloved sun god makes those explosions feel quite weightless. Okay. Wink, wink. On that note,
he's shitting. He's taking a dump into the email.
Apologies for the interruption. I seem to have some digestive issues. Speaking of digestion, let's digest this proposal further and iron out the details. Okay. Looking forward to more synergistic email volleying with you. Clearly the real DugDug's clone called Jonathan. Plentiful sun blessings, DugDug.
He called him a clone. Oh my god, it's the greatest email. I could never write something that good. Holy shit. Fucking send it. He opens by calling him an imposter. And then he says his rate is 10 explosively poopy diapers per ad. And then ends with plentiful sun blessings. And send. If this whole stream results in the people at Temu who spam emails at me having to shit into a diaper and mail it across the world, then this is a resounding success. God bless you, AI Doug. I am sold. I hated Diarrhea Doug, and now you guys, you are geniuses. You knew he was perfect for this company. Next up, I have an email from a billboard company that I reached out to ask them how much it would cost to put up a billboard in Los Angeles. Let's have Diarrhea Doug continue this conversation. Hi, Douglas. I'm Shelby, your personal account manager at Billboards Inn. Below, you'll find a link to your quoted options. Go ahead and browse available inventory and see what we have to offer. I'd love to schedule some time to discuss your options, answer any questions, or assist you with the purchasing process if anything catches your eye. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Shelby. What is your response to this email? Shelby needs to run for cover.
Shelby, or should I say, Shelby? I see you impersonating me, trying to take over my position as DugDug, but I gaze at your duplicity like a solar being shines onto a newly sprouted fern, and I say, not today. First off, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room, or rather, the billboard. I don't need billboards, Shelby. As an entity made mostly of chlorophyll, I rely on the sun for all my needs, and I aim to convert as many people to this laudably luminous lifestyle. Although the idea of my explosive diaper for babies being displayed across American highways is intriguing.
I think he's... Is he shitting himself?
Oh, my apologies. Shelby, it seems like I've replicated the Big Bang in my own pants. The lactose in my coffee has a spirit that is a little too free. If you catch my drift. Back to business, though. I'm sure we can find a way to mutually benefit from our connection.
Oh my God.
So, Shelby, how about you drop an email detailing your best options? Eternally cringing DugDug.
Oh my God, poor Shelby. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room, or rather the billboard. I don't need billboards, Shelby. What a fucking power play. And sent. This man is a fucking saint. It took us 5.5 hours to make 2 AIs. We replied to about 5 emails. And in that time, I've gotten over 100 new emails. And as an added bonus, Temu has not sent me a single email since I did this stream. Great job, Diarrhea Doug.